G'day. Welcome to the Australian Resonance and why it's time for the greatest eco-industrial project in world history. This is presented by Concentric Industries for East-West Line Parks Party Limited. And it's copyrighted by Concentric Industries, Inc., a Delaware Public Benefit Corporation. All rights reserved for the land down under. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the statue's in the stone, and greatness is in you. Project Iron Boomerang is standing on the shoulders of giants. Modern technology has made it possible for even small nations to have their own fully integrated steel industry, provided they have the following ingredients. A cheap source of power, B, high-grade iron ore, C, money, and D, the resolve to do something. Those were the words of Lang Hancock, who first dreamed of the iron boomerang in the 1970s. 4 decades later, his vision still lives. Headlong, Concentric brings its manifestation. Here's some internal details. In 2006, Project Iron Boomerang was a proposal to build a multi-use rail corridor spanning northern Australia and to facilitate placement of 5 steelmaking plants at each end, owned and operated by steel mill companies. A key element of its merit is the elimination of inefficient, unproductive, and environmentally damaging empty return roads by land and sea. The termini of the railway line are projected to be Newman, Western Australia, and Abbott Point, Queensland, about 3,000 kilometers apart. By 2024, an east-west transcontinental maglev line across northern Australia from the Pilbara to the east coast, more than 1,000 kilometers north of the Sydney-Perth rail corridor, is coalesced by Concentric Dow, Project Iron Boomerang, to connect iron ore mining in the Pilbara and coal mining in the Bowen Basin in Queensland with, get this, pollution-free steel manufacturing and railways with plants on both ends. Concentric Dow, the railway, the only way. You can see on this map, Project Iron Boomerang in northern Australia, Newman to Abbott Point, is 3,000 kilometers of coal zero, steel zero, and everything in between. And here's the juggernaut of dislocated resources. Western Australia ranks in the top upper 2 or 3 in the world for iron reserves, and Eastern Australia is in the top 2 or 3 in the world for coal reserves. Project Iron Boomerang bridges the gap. So here's the simple math. Coking coal will be sent from the Bowen Basin to Pilbara, and the return trips will bring iron ore from Pilbara back to the Bowen Basin, and there will be 44 million tons of steel per year, with 22 million on either coast, bringing Australia's steel production into the appropriate range based on its iron ore and coal reserves. It's a simple balancing act. The time has come. And I've alluded to the fact that concentric systems will be entirely pollution-free. But the reality is that even from an environmental standpoint, what's happening now is far worse. The iron ore is being exported, as is the coal, into not pollution-free operations across Asia. So essentially, Australia is contributing to ecological disasters based on its apathy, and it's also suffering economically. As you can see here, they're 1 in iron and 4 in coal on a global rank, and not even in the top 20 on steel production. That's irresponsible financially and ecologically. Here's more details confirming those world rankings that are out of balance. Australia has resources to steward, and it's acting like the steward who buried his coin. And again, what Concentric now brings are 100% pollution-free operations with hyper profitability. There's no excuse left. So again, the resolution is relatively simple. It's moving coal from east to west and the iron ore from west to east, and then having steel mills on both ends. Again, all of these are produced and developed and operated by Concentric Industries on a 100% pollution-free basis. The time has come for the Project Iron Boomerang. And Concentric's mantra is simple. With this unprecedented Swiss Army knife of what are now 24 patents on a global basis, it does represent the future of energy, food, air, and water. For more details, check on concentricindustries.net. And here's a classic one from Buckminster Fuller. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And that's what Concentric Industries represents. We represent the multi-trillion-dollar play of the ages, where we're more profitable and cleaner at the same time. This renders the economy versus ecology or jobs versus environment debate obsolete, effective immediately. And what perhaps is even more important and special about the Helix Coal Zero process is it not only operates pollution free, but one of its byproducts is graphene, which is not only the material of the future, but something whose productivity represents profits that are literally 1,000 times more than the energy commodities produced from the coal. So it's pollution free and hyper profitable at the same time. This is the backbone and the workhorse of Project Iron Boomerang. And it's available only and exclusively through Concentric Industries. And like the rest of Concentric systems that are based on modular and scalable systems, the Helix Coal Zero projects can easily be distributed across the network and in various regions. We've smashed the economy of scale challenges. Helix Coal Zero. This changes everything. And in order to combat tyranny in the West, the Helix Coal Zero patent has been filed through Arabia according to the Paris Convention. This technology is secure. It's proven, profitable, and pure. And now it is guarded by international law. But don't be confused. It's actually very simple. What we do is take carbon dioxide and scrub it with photosynthetic regeneration to make algae, which serves as additional biomass into the pyrolysis system along with the coal. So it's multiple combined cycles. It's regenerating fuel from the waste of the original process, plus cleaning up all emissions to generate more fuel. Very simple, and this represents the Carbonic Resonance Coalition. For Australia, it's time. Project Iron Boomerang is the world's premier application for these integrated, powerful, simple, patented, and proven technologies. And if you're not familiar with graphene, get familiar with graphene. It is the material of the future, and the only thing holding it back from world impact is the inability of anyone to mass produce it. Again, that is at the core of Concentric Industries' offering. In fact, in spite of the tremendous benefits that you'll see for Project Iron Boomerang in its own right, the graphene production is actually the most profitable aspect. It's all win-win, and graphene is more than a backbone. Okay, so here's some nitty-gritty on the finances, and this has all been vetted out and represents conservative capital expenditure estimates, including the electrodynamic suspension, or EDS maglev railway, the transmission lines that will power that, the power stations that are powering the transmission line from either end of the nation, and all the engineering and regulatory work as well, is a $120 billion total CapEx project, which represents something right in the wheelhouse of heavy mining and heavy industry. This is an affordable project, and wait till you see the returns next. Yes, the graphene is the financial backbone of the entire project, but that's against mitigating other costs, radically reduced electricity pricing, reduced transportation pricing. And so the graphene prices basically underwrite the rest of the entire project and pass those savings along to the entire industries as well as the whole nation of Australia. And one other item that was not mentioned on the last slide is that Australia is a core member of the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, who can readily provide funds of this scale and is frankly champing at the bit to do so. With 200% plus return on investment, with environmentally pure operations, there's nothing holding back this train except human internal mental hurdles. And we can overcome those with truth and good science and a moral meritocracy. Where there is a moral kiosk, PIB is the right thing to do, and it's the right time for it. And that's right, just on the transportation cost alone, we're multiple orders of magnitude, 1,000 times reduction in those freight costs. This is where the Helix Coal Zero system with a simple transmission line across relatively modest terrain makes PIB the project of the ages. And of course, true to its form, Concentric would be integrating the power systems on a combined heat and power basis to provide thermal energy to the steel mills on either end of the nation as well, making these mills themselves pollution-free and ultra-efficient. And while certain names have come and gone since Lang Hancock, durable and reliable citizens like Shane Condon with East West Line Parks Party Limited are continuing to carry the torch. There is political support for Iron Boomerang. This is a great project for Australia. And with zero pollution operations, there's no ecological reason not to advance on this project. It's time to rebuild consensus and advance this high quality operation in and for Australia. Not unlike other countries around the world, the economic and ecological factors weighing in against commercial and industrial operations have met their match by Concentric Industries. We're about pure, profitable steel, power, and much more. It's time for the Australian resonance. This is Australia's unique opportunity to show the world how to combine ecological stewardship with economic excellence. This is why it's time for the greatest eco-industrial project in world history. Thank you, Australia, for joining us in seeing your limitless future.